Manchester United have appointed Michael Carrick as the interim head coach from now till the end of the season. Now, this is good news for a lot of people. This is good news for me because he was actually the one that I preferred instead of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not me saying that Ole is a bad coach or a bad manager. I just believed that with Ole, since he got the permanent job the last time and got fired, well, let me not say fired. He left the position. He stepped away. I think it definitely would have been a step back way too far for us, for Manchester United in general. I think it was a situation where if Ole did really well, by the end of the season, he's going to be looking to see if he is going to remain as the manager of Manchester United. And in that particular form, I don't believe that he is the right man for the job. And so that is where Michael Carrick comes in. Now, the reason or why I'm making this video is, why did Manchester United appoint Michael Carrick? And I'm making this so every single person can understand and can know what we are getting from the English midfielder, the person that managed Middlesbrough in his last appointment. Without further ado, let's get into this because it's going to be interesting for sure. One thing is first, Manchester United hired Michael Carrick because of club needed stability, familiarity, calm, and honestly, just a relaxed face. Somebody that every single person in the club understands and respects, but also understands that with his brilliance comes ability. And we need that immediately. Now, that is absolutely one of the key things about this situation, because if we have that, then we have a way to go forward. Now, why does Carrick bring this to Manchester United? We know the club, he knows the club culture. We know that he knows the standards. We know that he understands the pressure when it comes to Manchester United. And that's the best part about it. We don't have to actually explain it to him. He doesn't have to sit and understand or sit to be able to remember how things are meant to go. He knows this already. He already understands the dressing room dynamics. It wasn't long enough, or it wasn't long ago that he was in the dressing room, part of the managerial system with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the tip of the spear. However, now he is the tip of the spear. He has decisions to make. And I know there's some decisions that Ole made that he did not want or he did not think was a good idea. Now he gets a crack at the whip. He gets an opportunity for him to actually make those corrections. Now, Michael Carrick represents low risk reset after the entire chaos that we saw at the end of Ruben Amorim's system. Not another ideological swing that Omar Ben Rada tried in this situation. Now, this is not about stopping the bleed. In my mind, now this is about stopping the bleed first and not selling a long-term revolution. The goal for Michael Carrick is stop the bleed and actually get the ship to move forward. Because the goal still remains for Manchester United, get European football. And if we can do that, we are on the best path to getting us back to where we need to be. Now, the second thing about why Manchester United chose Michael Carrick. Carrick is a short-term fix. I do not believe he's a real candidate. Now, it is reported, I think by Crook of Talk Sport, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was at the head of this whole negotiations between Michael Carrick and Ole and Manchester United. However, this camp came out and said, hey, if we do very well, we are expecting or we are hoping that we can actually get the permanent job so we can actually sink our teeth into the rebuild of Manchester United. And I think that was where the problem started for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It started right there because I believed Manchester United understood and they already know who they want to replace Ruben Amorim. And they also know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not the man to lead Manchester United into the next phase of or whatever rebuild that they are trying to do. And that right there is where the problem laid. So Michael Carrick is officially an interim right now. Realistically, performances decides everything. I do not believe he's going to get the job, but I believe based on how he performs, he would get an opportunity that Manchester United will keep an eye on Michael Carrick just in case they need to go back or they need to actually appoint someone with his caliber for the job permanently in the future. Just like we looked at Kieran McKenna. Michael Carrick is in the same frame. Kieran McKenna and Michael Carrick, in my mind, the same frame of mind. We see them are both talented coaches, and in that front, if he does really well, that would be kind of how you take a loan player before obligations, or you take a loan player with an option and you basically check it out and test the tires to see whether it works with your system, and then you buy him, just like what Barcelona wants to do with Marcus Rashford right now. But what does Carrick need to do for him to even have a chance for this to be possible? He needs to improve results. That is the first thing that he needs to do. Improve results. Second, rebuild confidence. Third, he needs to restore control in games. And don't let us start losing games when we are already ahead. We need to understand and we need to know how to actually win games with a clean sheet. Then the conversation naturally changes in that front. If he can do those three things, the conversation changes. United have been burned by theory managers. Carrick can be judged by execution. Just pure get it done. That is how Carrick might be judged on this one. Now, the third thing that we need to look about in this situation is what style of football will Michael Carrick bring to Manchester United, and what can the fans expect in this situation? I believe it's going to be pragmatic control and not a tactical kind of situation. And why I say pragmatic control is somebody that is not going to sit back like Jose Mourinho, and is not going to be as gegenpressing as Ralf Rangnick. It's going to be a blend of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Louis van Gaal. I believe that is going to be the blend. Someone that understands how to break on a counter, but also understands on how to create tempo, take it slow, build up from the back, and actually play football. That is what I believe we are going to be seeing. And what I believe, just to make it as clear of a term so you guys can understand, is one, more of midfield stability. We need it. He absolutely is going to bring it, because if we know Michael Carrick as a player, that is one of his strongest suits. He understands, and he is someone that would definitely be a deep line playmaker in this day and age, and would absolutely bomb the midfield for Manchester United. Second, fewer risky build-up patterns. It's going to be simple. It's going to the right-hand side. It's going to the middle. It's going back. It's going to the right-hand side. It's going down the flank. It's going to the middle. And then we are trying to score. Or it's going from the middle to the right-hand side to the back post in terms of a cross. Those are the kind of patterns that we are going to be seeing. Of course, we are also going to be seeing the deep line passer, the Kobe Mainoo. Maybe that would be his position. Playing the ball from his deep line position, passing a line or two in order for him to get the ball to Bruno, or for him to do a diagonal pass to the winger that is holding his flank. Third is clearer roles for senior players. It is absolutely clear. He believes the experience that you have, make it simple for them. That is the way he is going to do it, and that is what you guys can expect from this situation, and we can expect in general, because I am a fan also, but not the least in this situation, is the tempo control over chaos. I told you guys, this is a mix between Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Louis van Gaal. It is not Jose Mourinho in terms of going to the further ends of Louis van Gaal. And it's not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in terms of going to the immediate side of Ralf Rangnick. Is going to be a blend between Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Louis van Gaal. That is where the control is going to be. That is where the tempo is going to be. And that is the philosophy of Michael Carrick. Carrick isn't here to impinge the philosophy anyway. He is here to just win matches and steady the performance. I do not believe that he has the time, or it is going to be that quick to change philosophies as we think it is. These are players that have practiced under a certain formation in the preseason, going on 2 years now. This is 14 months of playing the same way. Changing it within weeks might be a stretch. But I definitely believe that Michael Carrick can adjust to some things and get things right. Now, the 4 points for Michael Carrick in this situation is we know that the formation is going to change. What does Michael Carrick actually what is he going to play? Yes, of course, it is going to be situational. Remember, it is not ideological. He is not bringing an ideology to Manchester United. If he tries to do that, he is absolutely biting more than he can chew at this moment. Unlike Ruben Amorim's rigid system that we all complained about and we felt that he could have done more, he could have made some changes, Michael Carrick has to adapt to what the players like and how, especially what players are available. Those are key things that he needs to absolutely adapt to. Most especially, he needs to adapt to what players are available. Second, he needs to prioritize balance over structure purity. It is absolutely crystal clear that Ruben Amorim loved the structure. He was adamant about his structure being the way it is. However, he did not prioritize the balance of the entire team. The team, it was always going to be a 3-4-3 kind of situation or 3-4-2-3, whatever the situation is. It was always going to be that. And Ruben Amorim needed to adapt a little bit more in order for him, when you're going forward, to win the game, or when you are actually staying back in order for you to win or close out the win. Third is that we need to expect flexibility between the 4-3-3 versus the 4-2-3-1 depending on the opposition. Now we are facing Manchester City on Saturday. That is going to be a devastating one. And I think this is the point where a 4-2-3-1 absolutely makes sense. You put two defensive midfielders in Ugarte and Casemiro and you let Bruno absolutely go forward. Except you want to make it where you want to be on the front foot, or you want somebody that would be able to give you deep line passing, then you put Casemiro and Kobe Mainoo and then Bruno in the number 10 with Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha. Or you can do Matheus Cunha, Mbeumo up front and then Ahmad. And then give Šeško a break, if that is what you want to do. But I believe Šeško has the power, the pace, and a thing that I know for a fact that Michael Carrick wants to bring, that back post crosses. We saw it so many times under him and Middlesbrough. Chupa Akpong was feasting on that back post. And I believe that Šeško can definitely do more than what Chupa Akpong was doing in Middlesbrough. And so, let's see. So it has to be function over the form of the system. It needs to be function. If it's not functional, we are not doing it. Fifth point, what Carrick must bring to Manchester United, or what we can expect of Michael Carrick, is how will he handle big personalities? You have 4 months. Michael Carrick is a very nice guy. He is very well spoken and is somebody that has been in the dressing room with the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Ryan Giggs, big personalities, Paul Scholes. I believe Carrick has to command respect quietly. It is all about how you speak. It is all about what you know and how you can convey those things to your players. You cannot force it. If you force it, you lose it. You convey those things to your players and make your players understand that you know what you're talking about. That way, they give you the respect, because it's not going to come from scratch. Second, he basically has lived United. He has lived in this United dressing room. And so he knows every single person and he knows what lever to pull when it comes to him being leader of men at this point. Third, doesn't need authority theatrics. Don't go there breaking the window. Don't go there punching the television. Don't go there giving the hairdryer to any player. Go there, respect them, they will respect you, and you use your intelligence to wow them. That is the point. Players are more likely to buy in because the manager is simple. Basically, just do your job, trust the structure, win your dues. That is basically it. Those are the things that you usually tell a player these days and in this elite system that would make them understand, oh, that is on me now. That's what I need to do. And one of the key things that I believe that Michael Carrick needs to do before going anywhere else he needs to make sure that these players have the responsibility and understand that they have the responsibility to make sure that Manchester United gets into the Champions League next season. Because it will be a disaster if we do not get European football 2 years in a row. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that follow button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Michael Carrick is the new head coach of Manchester United. Peace.